Hi guys, and welcome to this Flight Simulator 2024 video. And after a long day, we are finally into the game. Let me just tell you from the start, this game is awful. It is probably one of the worst games I have ever played in my life, and I'll get into everything throughout the video. So first of all, it took me probably another couple of hours to load into the game. I didn't have that error white screen that I had yesterday, but it just for some reason took a while to load in, and then when it did, I was stuck on the customization screen for a good hour or so. So it's just a case of exiting and then going back into the game. So we're in the marketplace area, and as you can see, there's a coming soon for the aircrafts for this game. When I first loaded in, none of my aircrafts from 2020 were there, but after a while, once I restarted the game, a few of them loaded up. Not all of them, a few of them. So aircrafts like the A380 weren't there, which is so annoying, but I had PMDG 777. I also had a couple of other aircrafts. I think the 767 from Captain Sim, but that's for later on. So my intention was to do a flight with the Beluga Airbus from Toulouse to London Heathrow. But before we do that, this is just a quick look at all the aircrafts that are in the game. Now this is just a standard version. The premium deluxe version I've not got yet. I plan to, but honestly, after seeing how bad this game is, I am so tempted not to even go for it. So what we're gonna do here is just pick the Beluga. For you know what, the customization screen as well, everything's changed from 2020. So if you want to choose your livery, you've got to do an extra step. It's nice the way it looks. I mean, obviously you can the personalization screen, I think much better than 2020. You get to see how everything looks. The UI, everything's changed. I am happy with it. It looks good. Obviously it's going to take so long to get used to, and I've just been fiddling around with it for a while just to see what goes where, and how I go about with certain things. So we've chosen our Beluga, and then we're gonna also go to the main map and choose our flight. But before I do that, I just wanted to check whether there are any liveries for the default aircrafts that they have, so the A320, the A330, etc. And sadly there aren't. It's just the box standard Airbus liveries that you get as standard. So it looks like for these ones we're gonna have to buy more livery packs, but seeing as I've already got the A330 from the 2020 game, and I think that might be transferred across, I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm just gonna use those, but I rarely ever use the A330 anyway, so it's annoying that we're gonna have to rebuy liveries for the default standard planes. So now we're into the map mode, and I'm torn about it. I'm 50-50. Compared to 2020, obviously I've been playing that game for around 2-3 years, and I prefer that. But everything, you've got nothing's loading basically, and obviously with the game being on the cloud primarily, it takes ages to load up, and I'm not happy about that. I tried to see if I could just download everything onto my console like 2020, but it's not possible. So yeah, this it's gonna take a lot to get used to, but let me load this up and then we'll go into the flight. So I've selected Heathrow as my arrival, and yeah, I'm not happy with this this screen basically. It takes so long. So this one it took a few minutes, and then when I tried to do the landing flight into Heathrow, oh my god, it took, well, basically it just didn't load. I've been stuck on the screen for ages. I'll let this screen load just to show you how long it takes to go into the actual flying mode, because I think they're just loading up all the data from the cloud, which again is so stupid. I don't know what Microsoft are doing for the last few years, because this game I'm not the only one, but it is horrendous and it pains me to say it. You're gonna hear me say that a lot throughout this video, but I just can't emphasize it enough. This game is horrible and it feels like they needed a few more months to iron out the details. Okay, so we're into Toulouse Airport. We've got our Beluga A330 ready, and now this is me trying to sort out this flight. They did mention that none of the settings from 2020 was importing over, so it took me I got 30 to 40 minutes just trying to fix every setting possible, just getting rid of these UIs. Once you load into the game, you can see the quality is so bad. I do like this setting screen though. It is quite nice. It tells you how long you've got left to your journey, your fuel and everything. But one thing I've realized that for some reason in 2020 when you click the left analog stick, you've got your toolbar at the top which has pause, your ATC, fuel management, your travel to. For some reason I just can't find that. I've been going through the settings, all of them, and yeah, I just can't seem to find that. So if anyone knows where that is or how I can get that, please let me know in the comments below, because that is such a main point for me and I can't live without that. This next part is just me going through all the settings, so I'm not going to bore you with that. I'm just going to skip to where I have all the UI gone from the screen, and then we'll play it from there. Okay, so we've removed the UI, but now it's the hard part of trying to find the parking brake. Again, on 2020 I'd just click the left button and parking brake would be disengaged, but for some reason, again, nothing was programmed, so I had to look through it manually, which took a while because I had no idea where it was. But let me fix that and then we'll go into the flight. Okay, that's done, and now we are taking off for our first flight in Flight Simulator 2024. And almost immediately I realized that my left analog joystick is not moving the aircraft at all for some reason on the ground whilst taking off. So I had to use the rudder to basically keep the plane central, and once we hit takeoff speed we're gonna go into the skies and see how the aircraft looks. Now another feature that I just couldn't figure out, so on 2020 if you press the LB button and the left analog joystick to zoom in, for some reason I couldn't find that on this one. It just wasn't working. So yeah, if you press settings there's a free-for-all camera view, which no, I just don't like pressing settings all the time just to go into that and try and get a nice view of the aircraft, like a 360 camera. So yeah, that's another thing that I've got to get used to. But yeah, this is a cockpit view. We're just gonna have a look around. We're gonna set autopilot, set our speed and see if it works. So in 2020 I just pressed the Y button and that would engage autopilot automatically. Again, I don't think this was programmed in this game yet, so I had to go into settings and basically remap all the buttons to my liking, and even then I don't think I've done everything correctly. I think that's going to take an hour or two just to sort everything out. And you can see on the right, not everything's loading in terms of the map and telemetry. Again, because this is running from the cloud, which is ridiculous, nothing is going to be as clear as it should be. On 2020 the game was like 150 gigabytes, but at least you had everything, and honestly I'd rather that they just do that. I don't care about the large sizes. If it makes the game work properly, I'd rather that they do that instead of loading out specific parts of the country. What I'm going to do here is just look through the aircraft and just go through the cabin. This is pretty much the same as 2020, so you hold the LB button and then you just use the left analog joystick to move around, so that's not been messed over. This is going to be a long video, so by the way, so if you've reached this far, I really appreciate that. This video is just me looking at the game, my first impressions of what everything is, and yeah, as I told you at the beginning, I'm not happy. This game is bad, very bad. So this is the cabin where you would load whatever you'd want. I like this mini tablet, which is quite cool. And one thing I realized is they've got like a mini logbook, which I'll show you soon, that has all your details, so your flight plan, basically everything you need as a pilot. So I'll get to that now. So it shows you that you got the LB button and that button on your joystick. And yeah, it gives you like a mini flight plan of everything, your aircraft, how long you've been flying, which is pretty cool to be fair, and you can activate that whilst in flight as well, so I do like that. Again, it's going to take a bit to get used to, just playing around with everything, the settings. You can make it bigger if you wanted to, or smaller. But yeah, that's the logbook thingy. It's like the mini iPad basically that you can activate throughout the flight. So we're back into our flight. In terms of handling, everything feels nice. Obviously this is a heavy aircraft, but it doesn't feel heavy when turning or just inputting controls. And apologies for the speed and noise, but I think this is the master warning noise, so I'm just going to reduce the volume for that so it doesn't annoy you. That tablet didn't seem functional, which is a bit weird. So far I've only flown with the Beluga, so I'll try later on with other aircrafts. But this game, honestly, just annoying me so much that I just turned off after this. Yeah, so after this I spent a good 20 minutes just trying to figure out all these controls, but I'm not going to show you on that screen, so I'll fast forward to when I wanted to land this plane. Now, obviously I don't have the quick action toolbar at the top, so I couldn't travel to landing, so what I had to do was exit the game and then go into the main menu and just do it from that. One thing I do like is when you press main menu, it goes back there straight away. There's not that delay compared to 2020. So I'm going to go back into free flight. I'm going to find Heathrow, and then I am going to try and land this aircraft, but just stay tuned for what happens. It's a bit frustrating. Obviously trying to find Heathrow is a bit long, but luckily it's somewhere on my screen. So I'm going to click runway 27R, set as arrival, and then I'm going to start flight. Now in 2020, this would go into the loading screen. We're at the loading screen now, and yeah, for the next 5 minutes it just stayed like this. I had no idea what was wrong with it. You can see the loading wheel at the bottom right, but yes, it was just staying like that. I don't know if it needed to load everything from the cloud, which is why I hate this new cloud system. But yeah, nothing was loading, so I had to basically press back and then load in from a random city, which I'll show you. Okay, so we've put that in, set as departure. It's just a random waypoint, and we're going to start flight. And this one seemed to work, but that's not all. We'll show you what happens next. So we will let that load. It does take a while, which is not ideal. So let that load. Okay, and now we're gonna zoom into where we wanna put our plane in. We'll start, and the game's crashed. It's crashed completely. I couldn't press start, I couldn't press anything to get out, so I basically had to exit the game. This isn't exactly a CTD, but I'm counting it as one because, yeah, game's gone. It's not loading, nothing's working at all, so I had to exit the game and then reload it. And we're back in after rebooting the game, and I got a notification saying my Flight Simulator 2020 items have now been loaded in. So we'll have a look and see what aircrafts that we have, and we'll go into the aircraft loader. Now this is annoying because we have to press triangle to switch the panels, whereas on 2020 we can just use the cursor to go in. But yeah, so here's our aircrafts. I'm just going to do it to airplane because that's all I use, and you can see that we've got some of our aircrafts. The PMDG, the 767, we've got Captain Sim 77 as well, and that's pretty much it. We've got the Concorde, which I rarely use that much these days. But the main one that I wanted, which was the A380, that's not there, and I don't know whether Braddock 3D is planning to actually move that in to 2024. I'll give him a message and see what he says, but you know what, I've got no hope on that. And if I do want to use the A380, I'll probably have to just turn on the Flight Sim 2020, and to be fair, I'll probably be playing that game much more often nowadays because this game is so bad. But right now we're going to try and load into Heathrow because I wanted to complete my first section of the final section of the Beluga flight. And it's basically the same situation as last time. I can load in to the airport and I'd wanna just start flight, but it just doesn't work. I just get this screen and it's so frustrating. Honestly, this game is so bad. It's so bad. I don't know how streamers on YouTube actually manage to get this game going. I don't know if they've got a special edition or not, but yeah, I'm loading this from Game Pass and it's just not working. Obviously, I don't know if it makes a difference if they have the game bought outright. If you have bought it outright, let me know if it works. But yeah, it's just staying like this. I'm not gonna bore you with the rest of the footage of me trying to fix this. But Microsoft, so I don't know what you've been doing for the last year or so. Everyone had high hopes when you announced this. Everyone was loving it when you released the trailers. I was loving it. I couldn't wait for this game. But now that I have it, it's so bad. I'm hoping after a few days everything starts working again. I'm hoping they release an update or something that just fixes it. Again, there's millions of people trying to load into this game, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for that. But my first impressions of this game, so bad. Honestly, it's one of the worst games I've played. And I've played other games on day one release and it works so fine, but yeah. Let me know if this has been the same issue for you. I know in my previous video a lot of people said that this game is bad, and I tend to agree with them. I'm not going to bore you anymore. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like, press that subscribe button, and thanks for watching. I'll try and sort out a few more videos. I'll see if I can actually fly aircrafts, but yeah, I've got no hopes for it. But yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time, see you soon.